Good day. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Thursday, and we are now at the 2nd of September, 2021, 5:40 p.m. Central Time. Well, there's an elephant in the room. And remember, as a kid, you could give them the peanuts and all. I loved it. I feel so sad that they're not around. I feel good for them because they probably weren't treated right in the circuses. But what a majestic animal. You were able to get up to it and pet it. It was phenomenal. I remember it as a kid. But that's in the room. And in the room is the jobs data. Now, there's several things you got to deal with. Number one, you got a holiday market staring you in the face in America. We have Labor Day, which means many of the markets will not open Sunday night. You won't get your grain normal opening. Got to watch your cocoa, coffee, sugar. Not sure they'll open either. You'll get the Globex markets in the financial arena that do open. They'll close early on Monday. They'll reopen 5 p.m. Central Time. Monday again, they'll close before noon or right at that noon time frame. It's typically right in there. I've sent out all the exact times to everybody. And then from there, where do we go? That'll be the thing. So the action that'll come in will be fast and furious off of it. Expect a lot of volatility. Now today in the stock indices, it was what I call a dream trade day. The markets fell down. If you took my enhanced Bollinger Band course in the S&P and in the NASDAQ, and it did its job. That's all I'm going to say about it. In the gold market, you are flirting with losing an embedded slow stochastic reading tonight. It stayed embedded through the close of business on Thursday. Tomorrow will determine after that jobs data what's it going to do. Rough to trade in front of this. That's all that I'm saying. You can see currencies are fairly flat going into the market. Japanese yen has just parked itself at the 90, 95, 96 level. It was a number that I told traders to sell earlier in the week, and they're already out of those trades. So now the question is, what do you do next? And bonds and notes just sitting here, and the trade thinks, well, if you get a number that is super strong on jobs data, the Fed will go. A good number. Now let me give you the ranges of the numbers as I know them. They go from a low of 400,000 on analyst guesses up to 1 million. It seems centered between the average of 700,000 and 750,000. So 850,000 on up should be considered a strong number. Anything, I think, at 600,000 and less, a weak number. And in between, that's where the hardest part comes. That's how I'm looking at it. So a strong number just might make the Fed now say, yep, come the FOMC meeting this month, they can announce when the tapering will begin. A weak number, why not buy more time then? That's what I think they would do. An in-between number, that'll keep the market guessing. How's that? When you look at the market, you're up now 0.7% for the week, up 31.75 handles. A full point is called a handle in our trade jargon. You can see how the market again went up, made new highs. The pattern of the market is higher lows. You can see that. Higher highs, you've got it there. Up against the upper Bollinger Band or the window envelope. Today, the window envelope is what was hit intraday. You fell down to the key entry spots. I'm not going to tell you here if you haven't taken the enhanced Bollinger Band course. You held it. You went right up to the profit objectives. It doesn't often happen like that in one day. And I'm certainly not. I can tell you, I don't look at trades for day trades. But if you're offered the whole trade at one time, that's it. I must also tell you, I told my traders that get my paid subscriptions to trade light, cut their positions in half going into the holiday. I started that a couple of days ago. I don't want you to have full-size positions. And certainly tomorrow, if you're not positioned right tonight, I think you wait for that report and then you make decisions. If you look at here, the slow stochastic, fully embedded. So you've got a market that's in an uptrend, fully embedded. Now there's a warning sign. What was this day today? Outside day. Typically, if you take out the low of an outside day up, my rule is that means you're probably going back to the 18-day average. I do have a stop on that. I'll discuss it later because I'm putting together a course on these just to teach you enhanced outside days. and I find this works from my point of view on stocks, spiders, and so on. I wish I could tell you the works does not mean it works and makes money every time. Nothing does. But you have to have a stop with it. You have to have what the percentages are. Is the move big enough to play for? There's many variables. And as I said, I'm putting that course together. It'll take me a small amount of time, but I've begun it. So until you lose the enhanced Bollinger Band, even if you took that out, unless that red line closes under 79, I think the trade will buy, even if you had the outside day down. Then I look at the NASDAQ, fully embedded. So again, I think the trade was buying today on this break. I mentioned that to you yesterday. I thought it would be the case. Higher lows, higher highs, still bullish. The Dow is not. The Dow is just overbought. This is not yet the place to be. The market has fallen back numerous times now to this 18-day average, just sort of sits there in the sideways action. Is this going to prove to be top action or bottom action? Market's not telling us yet on the daily charts. The weekly are giving some clues. When you look at the Russell, are we going to embed? I told you yesterday this market had begun the process. You can't count Friday because we don't know how it's going to finish. Both numbers over 80. Both over 80 on Wednesday. Tomorrow's the key day. You need 3 in a row. Let's see if it does it, and then I'll have a game plan for you. In the VIX cash, you're still down, and it was interesting today. The VIX tried to climb, and yet you were able to hold most of the indices up on the day. Very interesting day. You're not embedded in bearish news yet. It could happen. So this is day one where both are under that 20 level. Under 20, but not the day before. Tomorrow's going to be super important for these markets. And if you don't embed tomorrow in these, you just don't embed. You got to start the whole process over of beginning it from scratch. Flat momentum, stuck right here in sideways action. Why not? The trend is down, the bias is up, but you have lower highs and higher lows. This market's in a pause, waiting for tomorrow, and it's not much different in the 10-year note. Actually, I could take one of these arrows and have it point down now, right here. But you have higher lows, lower highs, nothing to do there. Dollar index, what do you do when you get down to the lower Bollinger Band? Bye-bye. You're not embedded. Smart money says, out. Don't have to take any more risk. We'll see what the market does off a major report. Eurocurrency. What do you do when you're up at the upper Bollinger Band and you're not embedded? So long, folks. Away we go. Why would you have to risk anything there? You're too overbought, in my opinion, in the pound to attract new money. The trend is certainly up. The resistance is the combination of the upper Bollinger Band 100-day average and supports 137.67. In Bitcoin, you can see how the market is slipping away ever so slowly right here, and the market is coming down. But this is a break in a market that has upside bias. The market hit its upper Bollinger Band area, and the pros came out. So this is the reaction. You left money on the table if you don't pay attention to the rules. But there's another rule. Did you lose the embedded reading? Yeah. And that's what you're fighting now. When you lose it, you often go back to the 18-day average of closes. Then we get to the Brent WTI crude oil situation. Here's what's interesting with this play. You would think because of Hurricane Ida and what happened that our Brent would be the big gainer over, our WTI would be the gainer over Brent. Not what's happening. Brent is stronger than this. I have told you that I'm suspecting out of Brent, even with the 400,000 barrels a day, that if you look over the horizon and you see in Europe and Asia the vaccination rates and the hospitalization rates and the death rates, the metrics have changed. In fact, I wrote this morning in my report for my full research for my subscribers, and I showed them the Eurozone, amount of vaccinations and death rates versus the U.S. through the end of August. And that gives you, since this thing's begun, you'd be shocked to see that chart. In the Brent, you can see how you're coming up. I should have had this arrow pointing there. I got sloppy. What can I tell you? It's still bullish. And WTI is bullish. Now, is WTI embedded? Well, Both numbers on Friday you can't count. You got to go to Thursday. Both are over 80, but they weren't the day before. They're not embedded here. I'm going to come back here. Are the numbers embedded? This is Thursday now. Both numbers over 80, both over 80 on Wednesday, not on Tuesday. Tomorrow's a key day in this Brent as well. If it doesn't embed, it just stays into the overbought category. So that's something I look at. Heating oil, embedded, strong. You're going to need the jet fuel, everything else. So what's really happened, everything is in scarce supply. So you're bidding up everything because of Hurricane Ida in the U.S. Nat gas, this has been one of my favorites. I mentioned this recently. I'm looking for breaks for clients to be able to come back in if it embeds. Right now it's too overbought. I realize it's gone up, but you've got the hurricane. This is in sharp demand at this point in time. Now, let's talk about my patriotic, behind me, Labor Day special. This is brand new for you, so don't go away. I'm going to give away my charting course, $249.95 value, or my enhanced Bollinger Band course to you. What I require is that you buy a 1-year subscription to my research. Not expensive. It starts at $156. The Bollinger Band course, as I said, $75. The full charting course that I'll give away, $249.95. It's a great deal. If you haven't taken either of these, that's it. Your plan starts right there. Now there's a video I want you to click. It's not anywhere else but right here. You see up there at this point? See the icon? That is what I want you to click. That'll take you to the special area for Labor Day. This is not on our website, so you cannot do this from the website. So if you have questions, you can always call my staff and they can work with you to get that going. But you'll be able to do this by just clicking that link. Give us a call there. Do not go to the website for this special. It ends on September 8th, so you have a few days and that's it. So you decide if you want it, but I think you'll find that as the market and the season's begun, I call this the trading season. The big boys all come back from vacation, Europe and America. They're going to start trading. It gets really fascinating from this point. How do I know? Done this 50 years. You think the Europeans don't take the end of their summer vacation and Americans don't figure out their summer homes? They want to take out the wrap and now they're going to go back to the offices or whatever? I think that'll be the case in many places. In the meantime, I'm Ira Epstein. Hope you take advantage. Take care.